Okay. Just doing an end. May do a few more minutes for this episode. Post the scribe portion. Hold on a second. Me, because no one's in here. How do I get the link? Get the fucking link.
I'm just doing some more minutes to close out the episode. Yeah. It said one was watching. That was me, but now it's saying none are.
Testing. All right, I'm gonna look up Jussie Smollett's family now. Actually, I think I saw a update about him recently. There was something like I don't mean to be a Tim Pool right now, just read an article. So this is kind of what I was wondering if he was going to do this. Say he's like, oh, he's going to go to rehab and then act like everything's okay. Then like, oh, I was just on drugs.
I was just on drugs,
guys. Okay. I just went to rehab. He's had an extremely difficult past few years, guys. It's just fun. It's just so funny. Imagine, like, how humiliating. Of course he'd get into drugs if that's what it is. Who wouldn't get it? Like, being caught faking a crime against yourself? All right, I'm going to try to leave myself a comment. I'm going to chat to myself now. Yep. Oh, good. It came through. I've never heard of the Smollet family. Like, I was surprised by. I mean, that's what Scribe said. I gotta trust him, but I mean, look at this. This is what he like. I don't know. It's still crazy to think about that this happened. Because I mean, look at this little tiny mark that he acted like he was like assaulted. I mean, I've seen Amber Heard stuff was a lot worse. Like she even did a better job. Yeah, there's a little delay right now. I don't know if it's just on my end, but on my rear end. Am I right? Right? Who's this guy? Oh, this is his agent or something. I guess his family stood by him. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I did hear this a little bit. I just forgot. I don't know. Um, yeah, I've never watched a documentary on him. I didn't even know they did that. Have they stood by him post scandal? But are they still? Are they still standing by? Standing by? Standing by? Standing by? Probably not. Probably not. Or they just stopped talking about it. I mean, if they stopped talking about it, maybe I wonder if he's like. I wonder if he's privately lying to them, like he's still keeping it going to them with your family. Like, would you come clean? I mean, if you were, it's not as bad as a murderer or whatever, but like a lot of those will never admit they did it, and they'll keep saying they're innocent. But I don't know. It's a tough situation, guys. You got to feel for him. He took on. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with these actresses, with this odd far apart eyes thing. No, I'm not even trying to be mean, but it's just like this is now a trend with actresses. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, like I read that the one lady, what did I forget her name, from the Anya Taylor-Joy, like that's people say that's an actual disease. So does she have the same one? I mean, I would almost think this is CGI. um, I don't know. I'm not trying to be mean. Just that's where she gets it from. Look at her dad. Look at her dad right there with his eyes far apart. Know what I'm saying? Oh, her dad was charged with domestic abuse once. Oh, they got their start. Why am I reading about this? Yeah. See, I mean, were they in anything? He has 4 other siblings. One of the eldest is also an actor. Was on Moesha. I don't, maybe it was just tiny roles though. Jazz Smollet is his older sister, and is a lifestyle expert. And she's a lifestyle expert. Man, they all have weird names. Jokey, Gocqui. I don't know how to say that. Maybe it's like Jackie. Maybe Jokey. I'm racist because I don't know how to pronounce that. So yeah, I mean, he really messed up. Like if he would have kept that, if people would have believed him, he could have had a whole empire of woke, like just woke stuff. Like he would have had a reality show probably, and then his like sisters would have been on that reality show. They should be mad at him because he could have really kept that train rolling of racism, of ultra MAGA. 10-degree muggers, I mean, he's just like, nope, I'm sticking to it. He's never wavered so far. He's never, some of these guys might do like, I feel like don't like. I wonder if he could partially come clean and be like, look, maybe I exaggerate a little bit, but still, like, could he do that, or would people not even care? Yeah. See, whenever I go on these sites, I like get distracted by the stupid articles, and then I click on those, and then it's a whole gateway to tabloid gossip. You see these articles, and you click on them, and guess what? You're stuck in the pipeline to tabloid gossip. You become a celeb commentator online. You become a YouTube celebrity expert, and you comment on all the celeb news. I wonder if Rumble makes you make an account to comment. My friend said he can't comment on, or he can't chat because he doesn't have an account. I mean, I'm trying to not rely on YouTube and just think of Rumble. Like I'm thinking of what am I thinking? Well, like I've been trying to think of like I'm not gonna worry about YouTube as much. Like I'm only gonna like post in the description and all the written stuff. I'll try to avoid all those stupid like Orwellian the terms that YouTube like cracks down on. Although it hasn't really helped like any like my views have still been way down. Like I swear to God, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but like sometimes I'll get like a couple episodes in a row where I'm like, oh, there's views on this, like meaning, I mean, not a lot, but still. And then like it'll go down again. And there's no, I just don't want to really have to worry about dancing around words anymore. I just want to be as racist as I can be. Like if I want to say the N-word like most of the episode, I should be allowed to do that. Just kidding well, no one's watching, but if you are, I mean, look, Rumble is basically just the other place people are using now. It's not like there's a lot of stuff on there now. It's not just a gateway alt-right pipeline. I mean, yeah, there's conservative people on here more than YouTube, which there's none on YouTube. Well, there is some still. They just keep getting taken down and stuff, so I mean, if I don't know. I don't know if I have to be logged in to, let me see. One tip is you go to make a private window in a browser, and then you don't have to, and then it logs you out of everything. Let me see if I can chat. Son of a bitch. I have to sign in. Oh, you can sign in with Google. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's just like, my friend, it's just like, all right, make an account. Nobody's going to track you down. You have to, like, when you have to go through any kind of hoop, like somebody that's not on YouTube or doesn't really watch anything like that, like, they're just going to not watch it. If they're like, I never watch that YouTube, and you go, hey, watch me, I'm live right now, but they never watch, like, they never ever comment on any videos, so they don't have an account. The fact that you added a new step for them, I mean, yeah, they're not going to do it. It's like, I mean, people, like, I'm the same way. Like, I would, anytime somebody asks you to do something and there's an extra step involved, it's like, hey, want to help me move? No. I'll give you, something. You always have to negotiate. They're like, oh, yeah, you got to make an account, and then you got to, it's like, oh, never mind. I mean, I guess you don't have to make well, you do have to have an account to listen to podcasts, but yeah, anyway, so I guess Jussie Smollett has a family that they want. It sounds more like they wanted to be famous also, not that they were famous. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but let's see here. Go to his Wikipedia. Government sponsored Wikipedia. Am I right? Am I right? I mean, it's so funny that this this second like paragraph right on top. What did you do with your life? Let me look on Wikipedia. Oh, staged a fake hate crime. Guess I'm gonna avoid this guy. Good luck being on Tinder, Jussie. Am I right? How many bad like stand-up jokes were written? I go to his Wikipedia page, and right there it says stage a fake hate crime. Red flag much? Red flag much? He has 3 brothers and 2 sisters: Jack, Jockey, Jojo, Journey, and Jazz. Not the Jazz that's a T gender, transgender. He has said that his father would, quote, kill you if you called him white. Well, that's a little extreme. I just react to stuff. I'm an old guy that's like an old guy character that reacts to stuff like, well, that's a little crazy. Did you guys ever see that? That's a little crazy guy on YouTube. It's this old guy, and he's like old, and like he just reads like stories, and he's like, that's a little crazy. That's no, thank you, sir. You know what? I guess he says he's like not just gay. He's sexually fluid. He has lots of sexual fluids, guys. Am I right or what? You know, I guess like I'd rather be just 100% gay. Like I wouldn't like I just don't see the appeal of being bisexual really. Like that is confusing. I mean, still, even though it's, 2023 and it's a hate crime to wonder about this stuff. I mean, I'd rather be just gay and that's it. Like I don't want to like how do you pick who to marry or something? Like how do you know I think I've read something where they say like bisexual girls always marry a guy anyway. I don't know if it's true, but that is confusing. I mean, say you're like, oh, this is the love of my life, but they're bisexual and you're a girl and they're a girl, and then they're like, oh, wait, I'm straight now because I want to be married. It's like really confusing, I guess. Yeah, I guess I don't. I mean, I know like maybe like people are like, well, you get like, hey, it's like more of a buffet of choices that you get,
I want to have all the choices I can get. I want to have all the choices I can get. Fuck him in the ass, fuck her in the ass. Have her peg me in the ass and then poop comes out and then I eat the poop because that's also my fetish. I'm just like a poop scooper, poop scooper, poop scooper. I actually have a fetish where I go in the litter box and I just use with my mouth and grab out the poop. And I'll just like take it out and I'll just kind of keep it until the mood strikes and then I'll just kind of, play around with it.
But then it's like if you're bisexual, this is me doing a TED talk about. If you're bisexual, I mean, what's the deal? Jerry Seinfeld doing a TED talk. But really, like, what's well, yeah, like, so I've always followed Jim Norton as a comedian. He's been one of the comedians I follow. Literally, physically, I follow him. But you know, he's been somebody I listened to in a while, or for a while. Always respected and stuff. I guess he just got married, supposedly to what seems to be a trans woman, and he's always been into that, so it's not anything surprising. But it is kind of like, to me, I'm like, how do you pick which, like, are you, because that is he more into that, and that's why he's like, I'll get married to a trans, like, but what if you're also into regular, not to say regular women, you know, because, I mean, what's the deal? It's like, you got a penis down there. I mean, yeah, you could, well, no. To me, it's like, it's also like, you know, what if you're a bisexual guy and then you're into pegging with the regular, where, you know, when you're dating a girl, you're into pegging. But then it's like, well, why not just be with a guy if you're into pegging? I mean, to me, if you like women, you like the you know, what they call the fetish wear, pussy.
You must like the pussy, You must like the cool. If you're into girls, you probably like their coochie. Their fucking coochie. But then if you get pegged,
why not just be with a guy unless you're, the aesthetic of the woman, except for the, yeah, I guess it's like, to me, it is like confusing. Like, I guess if you married a bisexual person, half of me would always be wondering, what if they realize, no, actually, I wanted to marry the other sex or gender or whatever. What if they're really into the other thing? Because they were before, and now they're marrying me. But what if they were really, you know, it's just, it's a hard, scientists have been working on this problem for a while, you know. Yeah, and I know somebody in the chat earlier was saying in the Scribe interview, women need to be held accountable. Yeah, I've done a bunch of episodes on the double standard with women sex crimes against men. That keeps happening more and more. The teachers going after the kids teachers going after the kids. You know how it is. In my day, we didn't have any of that. Okay. We didn't have none of that when I was growing up. I asked every teacher I had, I said, hey, you want to fuck? Well, you know, all those stories I read, all the women teachers that get those kids, you know, boys, whatever, they groom them basically. It's not like the kid. That's the thing. Everybody acts like, oh, these kids, like, oh, they're lucky, you know, they're not. How do you know if they were fucking 14 years old? Like, I mean, yeah, when you're like going through puberty as a boy, at least when I was growing up, like, I don't know what kids are like anymore. I have no idea if they're looking at porn. Who knows? But you know, you would have teachers you thought were attractive. Maybe you'd even get a stiffy in class. You'd get a little stiffy, you know, and you wouldn't know what to do with it. Should I gotta calm down. I'm hard as fuck. I'm sitting in class hard. It's hard. Got a boner. What do you do with it? You know, you got a boner. And you just had to kind of wait it out. Sit there with a boner. But yeah, none of these kids, from the stories I've read, and it's been a bunch of them, none of these little boys, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe one that I can remember. None of these little boys most of them weren't going like putting the moves on her. Like that's not how it goes with these. Let me just look up one. Doesn't have to be a teacher. It could be any woman, really. But all right, here's a kind of recent one. Oh wait, this is the one. This one doesn't count. This is the one where maybe the kid was putting the moves on her. Here's a recent one. 1 week ago, guys. 1 week ago. 1 week ago. 1 week Preston ago. County teacher. Preston County teacher. Preston County teacher. Preston County teacher. Preston County. Where's that at? I don't know. Preston County teacher has been charged after a student reported 4 incidents of abuse involving duct tape that took place in the middle of class. How? His teacher put duct tape over his mouth from ear to ear in the middle of class. What the fuck? What? These are getting crazier now. Did the other kids see this? What the fuck is going on here? In the middle of class. There's no other details, of course. They never want to explain anything in any article that you read. You're like, what else happened? Nothing. Well, no details in that. I don't even know if that was sex. It was just duct tape. At least here's one that just has a bunch of them in an article. At least 6 female teachers arrested for sexual misconduct over 2 days back in April, guys. You like where the country's going, folks? Huh? You like where it's going, folks? This bus was just one of at least 6 recent cases of female teachers engaging in sexual misconduct. Here's one, looks a little haggard. Not really who I'd go to be a fantasy, but I'm sure there's some comments saying it is. Former substitute. Emily Hancock. Am I right? That joke breaks the cell, folks. Jay Leno needs to... that's a Jay Leno thing right there. And, Leo Sock's name's, Emily Hancock. It's like, yeah, I think I knew what happened already. I don't know what voice that is. New York comedian. New York bad comedian. Turns out her name was Emily Hancock. Okay? Dennis. It's like what Dennis Miller used to do. Okay, folks? Okay, folks? What is that? That was like a trend in the 90s where Bill Maher, he still does it, but Dennis Miller and Bill Maher, they'd always go like, okay, folks? Okay? Okay, folks? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing now, folks? Emily Hancock? Tell my son, hey, take that class, why don't you? Make your dad proud. That's what they do back then. Oh, fuck. All right, so this is not a fantasy situation here. Kristen Gant allegedly groomed her student over social media. Another one. Now this one's weird. Learning disabilities teacher was arrested for sex with a student. Wow, this one. I mean, this one's like, I don't know. 17-year-old boy and she's 26. It's still like bad, but yeah, the one that groomed. That's what I usually see is they groom them. They don't like it's not the kid. It's not the boy going up to the student like, "Hey, want to stay after class, miss? I need some help. Your husband's not that great. I don't know. I don't know what they would say. I mean, they're a student. Like, how do you hit on a teacher? I know, like, a lot of maybe that's what they're thinking they do. Like, do all these comments? Like, watch, I bet there's comments here about. Guarantee there's comments like that here. There's no comments. Ugh, son of a bitch. Would they turn comments off? Wait a second. Where are the comments? Like, I don't get this. Every one of these articles always has comments like that. Maybe there's another one somewhere. Let me try to find that weird looking one. This one turned herself in. She looks normal. I don't get it. 32 years old. Touch on my condo with this student. Doesn't say how old he is though. Here we go with the comments. I was obviously born way too early. Yes, I'm aware that's something a 20th century man. Then why type it? Let me look at the Twitter replies. X replies. Now it's called X, guys. When everybody makes this joke now. Well, now it's called X, but what is that? Xing? Like, what do you say for tweets? Xing? What is that? What's that? What is that? When is she getting released? Anthony Knoll says. Lucky guy, Tom Wilson says. That is one lucky student. Hey, yo, let me get her mailing address in jail. That's what this guy Michael says. I'm sure she's going to reach out. Look, if she's into, like, kids, she's not going to be... I mean, look, why do they think... Oh, I'm not trying to sound like a... I don't know, male feminist or something, but, like, why does every guy think there's a, like, oh, well, like, do you have her number? What, like, the woman's gonna be interested in them? It's a weird thing with, well, I guess women might do it too if they say a guy, oh, he's single, that's too bad. I guess everybody does it. But, she's in jail for doing underage sex. Like, why would she then be like, oh, this Tom Wilson guy that commented on Twitter? Well, I mean, she might be having trouble in the dating life. I mean, how would you date after this, getting found out? Really? Would guys still ignore that? I mean, I wouldn't. Even with a hookup, I don't think I would. No, I don't think so. I mean, she might lie and just not tell people, but I don't know, I don't know how it would go, but I guess, like, I'm better than everyone else. So just to let you guys know, if you're listening, if there's any men, if there's any toxic men out there, just know I'm better than you, and I would say no. Okay, people. It's Dennis Miller. Okay, people. Let me try to find an old clip of Dennis Miller to prove my point. Bill Maher does it too. Bill Maher does the same thing. Okay, people. Where is it? It's interesting, though, that Dennis Miller went conservative. I don't know if everyone knows that. They probably just forgot about Dennis Miller and shit, yo. Don't forget about... Don't sleep on Dennis Miller, yo. I'll try to pause this and not get clip or a copyright thing. Okay, people. Okay, people. That's okay. I mean, what would you put in these trailers though? Like, because it probably would have to be little short jokes, and those might not be your best jokes. So, like, what do you put in these? I remember Jim Norton had an old. Jim Norton had an old clip of like it was a promo on Opie and Anthony that was like just a mash of his jokes together, and it didn't make sense. It was like all intense. It was like
Jim Norton coming here. He's crazy.
And then it was just a clip of him talking like, yeah, I don't know, you fucking pussy.
He has no holds barred with Jim Norton.
Oh wait, you guys probably can't even hear this on the on YouTube stream thing, but on my audio podcast you can later. Sorry guys, I forgot that I would have to share this. Let me try, just to try it. Yeah, I guess I'll just try.
Really no reason whatsoever for us to all come together as one.
Oh wait, I don't know if it's sharing audio. Hold on. It is?
I have an idea for a reality show about hoarders with impeccable taste. Quite frankly, they shouldn't throw anything out. Took my nephew out to a small, tiny local circus. It was very disappointing. Turns out it was just a house that had been tenanted for termite proofing. Can we make it as hard to get into our country as it is to get off your plane when it arrives early at the terminal? You can't trust journalists. You can't trust the New York Times. You're better off trusting the odometer readings in the Auto Trader, for God's sakes. You want to know how little a journalism degree matters? I have one.
Okay, this isn't that funny. I don't know. I mean, I'm not, maybe those aren't great clips. I don't know. Anyway, that's Dennis Miller, folks. Can't trust a journalist. Okay, people? Maybe he never said that. I don't know. It could be something I just thought he used to say all the time. That's kind of like the whole Mandela effect. Like, it used to be like Berenstain Bears or something, and now it's not. It's like a lot of those things are just not. They were never a thing. Like once I looked up Jerry Seinfeld, like he never really said like what's the deal, I don't think. Everybody just like uses that to make fun of him. I don't think he ever said it. He should have a what's the deal about that, guys? What's the deal? Is it me? I'll just look this up real quick. I just don't think he never said it. Here's an article. What's the deal with? The phrase "what's the deal with" was never used sincerely in Seinfeld, the show, including all the pre-intro stand-up sets. The closest is when George says, "What's the deal with Aquaman?" in one of the episodes. I don't get it. Why? Huh. They've said it like ironically, it looks like. Maybe it was a You know what? Maybe it was like an 80s stereotype. 80s comedians, like hack comedians said it. But then for some reason Jerry Seinfeld got stuck with people thinking he said it. But it was other maybe people that ripped him off even. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for tuning. If anyone hears this part, thanks for tuning in. If not, go fucking kill yourself. Just kidding. Just make yourself not alive. That's all I'm saying. Just for everybody's sake. It's the right thing to do. For the climate, for Israel, for everything, the best thing to do is just not live anymore because you're not taking up resources. Guy in his room said it here first.